Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Feel Good Fridays. Coming live straight at you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's your hosts, Polly and Bags.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Feel Good Fridays. I'm Polly.
And I'm Bags.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are presenting a special guest today. We have none only than Brandon Snyder. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So Brandon Snyder, for those of you who do not know, is the top salesperson in the industry.
The world.
The world. Yes. He is an excellent human being, an excellent performer at his craft. So Brandon, why don't you tell the folks out there, how long have you been in sales for?
It feels like forever.
Yeah.
My whole life. I've been selling teachers, selling my mom, my parents. I've been selling everyone, my wife, my children, and in my industry. So yes, my whole life, I would say that everyone is selling everyone every single day.
I love it, man. It is true. Starts from when you're a little young buck. Wanted that candy in the aisle when you're checking out the grocery store.
Yeah, you have that moment where you could either steal that candy or look at that clerk and go, "Oh, I need that candy."
We don't condone stealing, my friends.
Do not steal. Look for the other one. Start selling people.
That's
and
right.
You'll get more.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you joining us live here on this Feel Good Fridays.
Yeah, and I was going to say, today's a really important subject, and we're glad you were able to join us, Brandon. I think as in leadership, a lot of times people have a challenging time. I'll admit it myself. The people that are the best on your team, I think a lot of times leaders forget that they need coaching too, right? Some of the best analogies that are out there is like Tiger Woods. He has a golf coach, or Michael Jordan. He had a basketball coach or a shooting coach, whatever it might be. So even though if you're at the top pinnacle when you're in leadership, those people still need love. I know a lot of times you want to bring those up to get up there, but you can't forget about it. So today we're going to cover with Brandon, why, how, he likes to be coached and things of that nature. So we'll kick it off, Brandon. So in your perspective, right, being at the top of your game, why is it important for you still to get coaching?
Speaking to someone the other day about this topic, not knowing that this was going to be the topic, I explained to that one coach, I said, what's important to me is that my coach can be more sympathetic to me. So when that person is with me and I'm pleading my cases about all of the different jobs or the situations that we face, as a design consultant, as a sales consultant, as a whatever consultant you are, your leader can be more sympathetic to you and understand where you're coming from. Because if that coach is not present and you're pleading your case and that person seems oblivious to what you're explaining, then both parties are lost. So I would say that communication, by being coached, there's a better one-on-one communication between the two parties.
Yeah, and folks, I think that goes back out there for our leaders out there is get to know your people, get to know how they like to be coached, how they like to be talked to, get to know them on a personal level. So when situations and scenarios do come up, you kind of get a good understanding because you never know what could be going on in their personal life that could be affecting their performance, whether it be good, great, or even, for the worse. So get to know your people, folks, and get to know how they like to be coached. It's very important.
Yeah, I'd even say too with that is, I think everybody, doesn't matter if you're at the top of your game or the bottom, there's roadblocks that are out there. But again, like you said, that connection and understanding will help you get over those hurdles to get to the finish line, to help you to continue to take your game to the next level and not just get content and plateau at a certain level. So that's awesome, man. I appreciate you sharing that.
Sympathy, right? Creativity is spawned from sympathy. So if you're not able to relate to somebody, it's just dead in the water. So creativeness happens, and being able to go around those roadblocks are more easily done when both parties are speaking the same language. So
love it, man. Cool.
So as we talk about, ways to coach for the leaders out there, different techniques, what's your favorite way to be coached or taught something new? Like what's some of the things that you like?
One of my favorite lines is ride or die. You need to ride or die. You need to be in the streets. I came from a place where they said, always hustle the streets, not the people. So if I'm going to be in the streets and I put my shoes on and I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and I get home at 8 o'clock in the morning, I want my leader to be there. I want my leader to turn off all the computers, all the phones, all the forms of communication, tell everybody that they're doing a company trip, and that company trip is sitting with me all day and being there, seeing what the streets are speaking to us, because there's one thing where the computers are saying one thing, other leaders and other meetings are saying one thing, but the streets are telling us something different. So our customer base is going to educate both the sales consultant and the leader, the coach at the same time. So then again, going back, it'll be more, there's that communication that actually both parties are being educated. So that's how I like to be coached.
And you're spot on. You bring up a good point about the numbers sometimes don't tell the whole story, folks. So always pick up the phone or schedule that time, with that one-on-one face-to-face time with your team, because it's invaluable, as you heard it from Brandon Snyder himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just bringing it back to what it's all about, man. Getting in the trenches, as they say, right? Get in the trenches, be a part of that. So spending time with your top performers and going on ride-alongs or sitting, doing a three-way call, whatever it might be, whatever industry you're in, that goes a long way, right? So sometimes I know we always get in leadership lost in the sauce of meetings and all trainings and all that stuff. But don't forget the basic fundamental, just being there with your team and getting out there in the field to really see what is going on. Because when your leaders ask you, what the heck's going on here? You'll be like, well, I did X, Y, and Z. This is what we're seeing. This is what we're hearing. This is what we're trying to overcome. This is what I'm going to train my team on. They're like, okay, cool, thanks. Have a good day. But when you're like, let me make a few phone calls, being in that, in the shuffle with your team, no matter where you're at, is huge.
Those are real role plays, right? So we do role plays in sales meetings and everybody's all joking around, Mrs. Jones, Mr. Jones, everybody and their mom. But in the house, that is a role play. You can role play and experiment with all the trainings and all the teachings that all the coaches have prepared with a high level of education, and you're actually applying those tools in the house with your leader, so the leader can also see, hey, do you know what? Maybe that was a glitch, and maybe we should tweak it here or there. So then you guys can spitball together as two important two entities, right?
Yeah, and that's funny. I was talking to my leadership team about that. And when you're out there in the trenches with your team, have fun with them, right? Help them out, right? You want to talk about coaching, right? Do it. Maybe if you see they're not missing something or a path, you can step in and say, hey, help them out. At the end of the day, you're both trying to help support that customer to provide the best experience, that they choose you at the end of the day and not the competition. So leaders, when you're out there, just don't sit back and observe. Don't take over either. But when you see those opportunities, do that. And then after, go grab a cup of coffee or whatever you want to do, or, whatever. And then chum it up and say, what'd you think about that?
Don't be awkward.
Yeah.
Just don't be awkward.
I love it. And then I'd say the last thing, Brandon, I know this is a leadership podcast, but we might have some others out there that aspire to be the best in their industry, right? Maybe they're new in their industry, What are some things that, other sales people out there can maybe focus on that can help them take their game to the top and be known as the best? What would you say are just some things they can focus on?
But believe in the brand, of course, right?
Yeah.
So support the brand, encompass everything. Be a believer of what you stand for, and at the end product, to know that you are serving that person. So if you have that servant's heart, if you truly wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to help Bags, I'm going to help Paulie, I'm going to help somebody, rather than, hey, do you know what, I'm going to make some money. I'm going to make that. And I know that might seem like what everybody might say, but if you wake up and genuinely care, and wake up and care and say, do you know what, I'm going to try to help somebody. I'm going to solve a problem rather than I'm going to put some money towards this. Obviously, we're working in businesses. We need to increase revenue and all those different, all those things. But wake up, say, hey, I'm going to help this guy out. I'm going to solve his problem and creatively solve that as a team. And in the house or wherever you are, I always say to people, let's team up. You're part of my team. So really try actively to be a teammate with your customer, with your people around you.
It's great.
So serve.
I love it. Man.
Serve.
Yeah. Who can we help next? That's my mantra for my team. Who can we help next? If you're in sales, you're literally trying to help. If you're not, you're in it for the wrong reasons, and eventually it's going to catch up to you. So great insight, Paulie.
Yeah, you look at the top performing design consultant in the Ohio Valley area, and look, he didn't say one thing about price. It's product. Believe in your product, believe in your brand, and build that relationship with your client or your customer. So look, Brandon, that's a wrap for us today. Do appreciate you joining, as always. It's right. That's right. Good love. For those of you out there who missed any previous episodes, be sure to head to our YouTube channel at Polly and Bags or at Feel Good Fridays podcast. Or if you like to listen to us on the go, you can do that as well. iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your pods.
Follow. Celebrities.
No, he's a celebrity here. He's a celebrity here. But
Turn it off.
with that being said, as always, take care.
And check out his hair.
There we go.
Thank you for tuning in to Feel Good Fridays. If you want to stay up to date with our podcast releases and upcoming material, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. I'll wait. You didn't do it yet. Go ahead. I'm still waiting. Did you do it? Definitely check us out on our TikTok for special announcements and possible giveaways. Both can be found by searching at Feel Good Fridays Podcast. Thank you, and make it a great day.